Hi there, this is Mike of Nearly Enough Dice, and this is a Dwarf Fortress playthrough. I'm doing something different slightly. I'm recording using a different recording method, and we're going to see how that goes. Largely what I'm doing is I'm now recording my entire screen, so that if I suddenly feel the need to bring on Dwarf Therapist, you will be able to see what I'm doing. But I can't do anything with Dwarf Therapist just at the minute because it's currently loading up, and Dwarf Therapist will not, in fact, do anything until I load up. And this also means that I'm now going to be recording great big huge O-Vision as opposed to slightly not quite so big a vision. We will see how this goes. We will see how this goes. One of the things I'm tempted by, one of the reasons I'm kind of tempted by this, is that there's a Dwarf Therapist thing called optimization plans, which I'm kind of interested in, but I'm a bit worried about actually doing. So I'm like clicking things here. My understanding of these things is, okay, plan name, easy enough. This is how many jobs each dwarf should have. Right, so dwarves at most will have 6 jobs, because I've got like 200 dwarves, yeah, okay, 100 odd actually doing anything dwarves. Then you know I can afford to specialize them, so give them maybe only 6. This auto assign hauling and percentage here means any dwarf that has less than or 50% or less jobs than this. So in this case 3. Any dwarf that only gets 3 jobs also gets hauling. Percent total jobs, I think that because there's 500 jobs to do, you multiply that by 6. That's how many jobs my dwarves could be doing. I'm not quite sure about that one. This is excluding people who I don't want to deal with. So people in the military, I don't want them being given jobs because I might. Well, if they're in the active military, there's no point giving them a job. They won't do it. If someone's hospitalized, no point giving them a job. They won't do it. Exclude squads. These are people who aren't actually in the military right now, but I've assigned them to a squad, so I might suddenly decide I need them. So don't give them a job. And exclude nobles because they've actually got to do things that aren't job related. Now, what it did, I could maybe clear this. I'm not quite sure how to do that. Maybe I could do it like, yeah, right. So I'm just going to actually remove those. So I actually don't know what I'm doing here. So this is what you start off with. Start with a 0, and so I can add a job manually. Oh, I can just go assign 63 jobs. I do hope nothing's actually happening in the background there while I'm doing all this. Can I minimise that while I'm playing it? Oh no, okay, I can only minimise the whole thing. That's irritating. Never mind. Modal Windows only love it. So basically, what I would do now, and I'm not going to do it now because I need to have some thinking, is I would go through all of these things, and at the moment it's just put every single job it knows about, it's put in, and it's given the exact same priority. So what I would want to do is do things like change this priority to 0.1 or something. So this is now very low priority, and I'll change the ratio for cheese making down so there's only one person does cheese making, because I possibly only ever want one person doing cheese making. And I probably don't want that. I don't probably care that much about architecture. And it's also about priorities, because what if there aren't enough people to go around? Which jobs do I absolutely want know, I don't know. What jobs do I just not want done, or do I not care about, and which jobs are absolutely vitally important? So that's where the priority comes in. So mining, for example, should be 1. I'm just going to quickly check see if I can do something. Can I change? No, I was wondering whether or not I could change the. Yeah, I'm going to check that. I was going to see if I could change all the priorities at once, but no. In theory, what I can do is I can chuck this out into a CSV. I can export this as a CSV file, then edit that CSV file, which might enable me to do various things. But what they've got here is this is the job title. Alchemy, I think, is a masterwork. That's part of the masterwork plugin. I think. So I don't believe I've got any alchemy. Alchemy is not a thing I can do, so that's fine. So it's got the job. This is one of these is the skill, and one of these is the role. I think. Yeah, this is the role. So someone doing animal care gets the animal. Yeah, they end up being called an animal caretaker. Now I may decide that animal caretaking. Well, that's quite a low priority. So I'm going to chuck that down to 5. To put about 0.4. It's going down in 0.2 increments, so that's fine. And a low ratio. So again, maybe only so that there's only ever going to be 2 animal carers. And animal training, you know, I just kind of have to go through all of these and just decide what I'm going to do. Done architecture. Well, architecture, I think I'll put down to 0.6. Armoring, I'm going to put down a bit. Beekeeping, that's going to be 0, because I just don't care about beekeeping. In fact, I'll keep it at 0. So I actually have no bees to keep, so that's fine. Metalsmith, I'll just basically clicking it 1 down, so it's less than mining. Same with bone carving. Brewing's quite important. Butchery is not quite as important. Carpentry is quite important. Clothes making quite important. So basically, I'm doing a bunch of things that aren't quite as important as mining. I'm going to actually put brewing and cooking quite high. Crossbow making, I'm going to put a bit low, and I'm going to put the ratio down to 2. Because for everything else, I think I've only got 2 workshops anyway. Diagnosis, Chief Medical Dwarf. First, put that down to 4. Same here. I'm going to put those priorities down. I'm making this up as I go along. Don't want that many dyers. Yeah, ratio is. I can't quite remember what ratio is exactly. But as in exactly how it's calculated. But obviously, I think it's multiplying the number of dwarves I've got by the number of jobs I've got, and then it's kind of coming out to this is how many you'll end up with. I have 4 engravers, and that's not very important. Oop, it's going the wrong way. Farming is kind of important. I'll leave it with 8 actually. I want quite a few farmers. Feed patients. Probably very important, but although actually I think use labour skills, so that may not actually show up or something. Oh no, wait, no, that means it's not going to get called anything. Fish cleaning, not very important. I don't want too many people doing it. I think I've only got the 1 workshop for it. I should possibly get another workshop. So I'm just kind of making this. I was kind of saying, oh, I was just going to have a look at this and not actually do anything with it, and now here I'm clicking away. Fisher dwarves. I've got so much food, and quite frankly, I don't think fishing works as well as it might. Furnace operators, quite important, and I'm going to leave that at 8. Leave that at a ratio of 1. Gem cutting, I should probably get some gem cutting done. But I've only got... I don't have that many gem places. Glass making, really quite low. glassing in place. So I'll basically allow there to be 2, so there's one in a spare. Glazing is something I should look into. I was actually, whoops, don't want to be there. Glazing is something I should look into, because I quite like the idea of making, I don't know if you can make glass floors. I want to make a greenhouse. There's a corridor. Everything's going fine. It's completely ignoring my fortress in the background, desperately hoping no one's getting themselves killed. I kind of assume it would stop if there was an actual problem. I might be wrong about that. Where was I? Oh yes, glazing. Hunting. I'm going to put that quite low. I don't really need that many. Actually hunting. Leatherworking quite low, because I'm not really doing anything with leatherworking at the minute. Lie. That's kind of important, but I don't need that many people doing it, I don't think. Masonry, quite important. Leave it at 9. Do have a fair. I mean, I'm always wanting masonry jobs. Leave it at 6. Mechanics is quite important, but I don't have many opportunities. There aren't many opportunities for them to do it a lot. Metal crafting, yeah. I'm just making up these numbers as I go along. I've noticed that actually, as I put numbers down, some of the other numbers change, which is kind of interesting. Milking, no, I don't do milking. So there we go. Milling, quite important. I do a lot of milling. But I don't really have that many millstones to use. Mining, terrible point, so I'm just going to leave that absolute as is, so there should be lots of miners. Plant gathering, I do almost no plant gathering. Plant processing, that is quite important, I do that quite a bit, mainly from plants actually grow rather than anything else. Potash making, no, I haven't really done any potash making. Something I should probably look into. Pottery, I do no pottery. And I'm just going to put a tiny amount just in case ever somebody decides I need to do pottery. Pressing, don't do any pressing. Again, that's for making oil out of rock nuts, but I'm getting enough, I've got so much fat that I can make. Anything I want to make out of fat, I can make out of animal fat. I'm not doing anything with pump operating at the minute. And that should be a fairly low priority anyway. One of the things I might want to do with pump operating is basically make a gym for my dwarves. Shearing, I'm doing no shearing. I'm doing none whatsoever. Siege engineering, I'm doing no siege engineering. I probably should. But then my embark's been amazingly peaceful, so I mean it's really just not been a problem. So I'm probably going to be very upset when I discover that I suddenly do need a siege engineer. I'm just not using them at all. I can't remember what these guys. I can't remember what small animal dissectors do. I doubt. You can see as I'm lowering this, obviously the folks that I'm not assigning are going other places. Just have 4 soap makers. I mean, probably need it, but I mean, I'm having, so they've got some spare soap makers as well. I don't think I'm doing any spinning, but I'll just have just in case I didn't do it. I think I've got some sheep or some alpacas or something. Stone crafting, yeah, that's quite important. I don't think I need quite 4. Yeah, 6 stone crafters. Strand extractors. Don't have any at the minute, and so I'll probably want to revisit this. Strand extracting is to do with adamantite, and yeah, it's to do with getting, because you get adamantium wafers and you've got to make them into strands, and then you've got to then do other things with it. You basically spin adamantite into cloth, and that's how everything gets done. So it's a little weird. What was I doing? Waxworking. I have 0 waxworkers. I don't actually put it down to... I'm kind of paranoid about putting things down all the way down to to 0 even if I actually don't do it. Weavers, I've got a fair few. Weaving's quite important to me. Shouldn't be doing this live. Just watching me click boxes is possibly the most exciting thing I've ever done. But I mean, I'm trying to record things so that you get to see me do these various things, as opposed to I keep every so often I was just going, oh well, I'm doing stuff in Dwarf Therapist off screen. You can't see what I'm doing, and yeah, I'm of the opinion that probably wasn't very entertaining. And woodcrafting is quite important. Not like that. Right, these are just kind of random numbers. Now I can hit the test optimize button, and it's not showing up. Oh, there we go. So it's showing what would change. So yeah, it'd be showing that I've got lots of masons, rather more masons than I think I need. But, you know, no one dwarf is going to have more than 6 tasks. There are, you know, a fair few folk being taken off mining. I'm going to save this. And, you know, what the hell? I'm in a mood to experiment, so there you go. So I've now done that. That's now happened. So there you go. Yeah, I was actually looking at my frame rate before, and it looked atrocious. But I think that was actually because I was doing Dwarf Therapist stuff in the background. Now, what else is going on? Right, so I'm in the middle of building a bridge over this railway line, and I've just suddenly completely changed how everyone gets their job. Oh dear. Frame rate's really gone. I don't know whether I've got a really low frame rate because I've suddenly expanded my screen so it's much bigger, or whether it might be down to my screen recorder recording. So there may be some experimentation required. So I don't know whether I'll be doing things in quite this way all the time. But yeah, Dwarf Therapist will now have made sure that I've got a good number of miners, yeah, including folk who, you know, weren't miners before, you know. Good, so I've got, in theory, everything's much more optimized than it was. So we'll see how that actually works, shall we? Alright, what are you up to? I don't know what's going on. Right. Right, so I want to go to Shift F1, which is right down the bottom. Now, I've pretty much decided that I'm going to try and find a place where I can make a shaft that goes all the way from the top of the thing to the bottom of the thing. What I'm going to do is going to stick my cursor here. I'm going to see if anything at any point overlaps it. Oh, my cursor disappears every so often. I think I might be able to get away with this. Doop, 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 doop. It's going to depend on what the upper caverns do. Because the upper caverns go all over the place. No, still, we're alright. Oh no, that's fine. That is in fact fine. Yeah, okay. Right. Let's see if this works. No, it doesn't work. That was not what I wanted. So D8, so enter, and then F5. Ooh, shite. Oh god. That was like very much not what I wanted to happen. I was trying to be smart, which is actually probably... Oh! What have I done? Oh, actually, that actually did do what I wanted to do. It just... yeah, good thing I'm paused. It did actually do what I wanted it to do. Oh, Lord, this went wrong. But I wasn't paying attention to where the cursor was. Right, okay, Shift F... No, I don't want Shift F5, go. Yeah, just... You're right. Okay, okay. Move the cursor here. H channel. Right, I'm gonna put my mouse cursor where I want it to be, and I'm gonna go to Shift F1. I'm gonna go down to here. It's gonna work. It's gonna fail. Oh, I didn't move the cursor. That's okay. I can do this. Hit X. I'll get this. I'll get this. I promise. Promise. I promise I can do this. Oh, heaven's sake. Oh, heaven's sake. Now I've lost where I was gonna put the. Yeah, I've lost where I was going to put it. It was somewhere around here. Oh, let's go get someone's bedroom. Let's try not there. That's okay because that's still going through my area. That is fine. Oh, go away. So I was holding the shift key because while I was waiting, I was kind of just held the shift key for a bit. This is looking good. This is looking good. That's not looking good all of a sudden. Now I can do this, but it would involve going through the caverns, which obviously I do not want to do. Right, so let's go slightly this way then. I think that's going to take me through a different set of caverns up here. No, denied. Okay, so I get to the first set of caverns. And I get to the second... no, failure, abort. Okay, fine. This might be okay. That's fine. But again, it's going through someone's bedroom. But I can possibly live with that. Oh, this is quite difficult. Let's go through there. No, right. Of course, I've got this kind of area to worry about, but hey. Okay, so that skirts that bit of the upper caverns. That's actually not bad. So I think I think hopefully I can. Well, let's just D something that. I want to make a note of that area somehow. Keep myself paused so nothing should happen. DX, I need to get rid of this. don't go any further down than that. Yep. Right, so I'm not going to try and do anything fancy involving hotkeys, is what I'm not going to do. So, D, H, enter. Oop, don't want to go all that far up. I want to go to -7. Yeah, because -7 is where the stockpiles are. And I'm going to DX here. And I'm going to build, construct, up-down stair. Instead. Basically, because if I don't do that, then when a dwarf channels from above, they're gonna fall, and that will be embarrassing. So essentially, what should happen is that hopefully a single dwarf is going to do all of this in one lump, all the way down to the bottom here. Yeah, that should work. Even if what I was worried about is if they build a stair here, they might channel underneath it. But as in a second kind of. There might be a second no, where do I want to go? Let's take it from here. Right, unpause. So that's going to be designated because that's a dwarf can get to that. A dwarf might be able to get to the channel designation that's under here, or they might not. But they should avoid smashing their faces. The thing is, because it's going to be a great big huge long tunnel and all the way down, once they start channeling down, whoever's doing it isn't really going to have the opportunity to stop. Although I can probably make exits at various levels, so I can maybe go down, let's not do that, let's do it here. So I can make an exit here, for example. Actually, I'm going to leave that for now. Oh, X. If they get stuck, then I'll build a rescue tunnel. They'll probably get stuck. It'll get that dwarf will just get tired. Right, so this is a dwarf doing exactly what I think I was worried about. Where are you digging? Oh, you're going somewhere irritating, aren't you? You are going somewhere irritating. Right, that might mean, I think the one channel that might be being dug is the one that's right down the bottom. So that could possibly be a bit of an irritant. It might mean that when the dwarf who's doing the main channeling, they just have a bit of a drop at the end. I think it's very likely where this dwarf is going. In other words, down here. Yes. So if I instead designate that to be an up-down stairway, no, just a down stairway, just an up stairway, and I can remove it later. I can channel it later. Yeah. Bit happy about that. Yeah, so I'll be able to channel that out later. Or just get rid of it. Yeah. Let's go down one. So it's going to eventually end up one square over here, and I'm going to put a hatch here and a lever somewhere, as yet to be determined, which will, so things are going to fall all the way from -7 down onto this hatch, and then are you digging upwards? So my cunning plan to avoid dwarves falling to their doom has been okay. Well, there you go. That's slightly irritating. Let's see what's going on up here. So someone has dug quite a ways down. Okay, so they got to that point. Right. Okay, so now I want to DN. Get rid of that. And then I want to make that into a channel. That is what I'm going to want to do. And that will start the second kind of thing there. Okay, what is going on otherwise? No, dye shop, no. Here we go, process plants. So that's being, I know that's being thinged by, oops, sweet. I know that's being thinged by workflow. So I do a Shift S, I can start looking at what's going on. I have no trousers. I've got 2 pairs of trousers. So the clothing is not working. The clothing is setting the whether it's because I just don't have enough clothes makers, or whether I don't have enough cloth. I should now have enough cloth. Well, no, I don't have cloth as a separate thing, do I? So there could be still an issue of not making enough cloth. Charcoal, good, like that. Pig iron, no, not working enough. Beds, fine, because I haven't put any beds down. Blocks, fine, because I haven't done anything with blocks in a while. Bags. Still working away. I mean, I've got... Cloth is down as 35, and just ordinary silk and yarn. They're obviously... You know, it's going up and it's going down. I'm just going to change the range to 15, so it's going to be 10 to 15 instead of So, ugh. 10 to 15. There you go. Buckets doing alright with. Drinks fine. I mean, drinks are doing exactly what I want. Globs, I've just got a million globs, that's fine. Lye, I've got more lye than I have asked for, so that's okay. But roasts, I don't seem to be able to get above what I wanted. That's interesting. I might need to, hopefully the cloth, the sock situation will gradually resolve itself. But it's certainly not at the minute, and that's actually slightly worrying, because that's how you get unhappy dwarves. Remove construction. So somebody is removing the construction, but that is my broker, who is there supposed to have not been asked to do anything, because my Dwarf Therapist plan said don't make nobles do things. So, oh then, well, maybe remove construction is a separate thing that doesn't act in the same way. I don't know. Okay, it seemed to have either run out of fruit or all the fruit's kind of being taken up. Oh, move faster. I want my dwarves to be faster. This is one of the reasons why it suggested there's ways and means of setting up gyms essentially for your dwarves. I think if you just Google Dwarf Fortress CrossFit, there's a thing where like you have a series of screw pumps, and so you get your dwarves, you sign them all to the pump operating labour, and they just operate pumps. They don't do anything. It's just there to make them, to give them, so they just operate the pumps, even though the pumps aren't actually doing anything, aren't actually moving any liquid around. So they do that for a while, and that gets them, that trains certain of their abilities, and then you get them. I think, okay, it's been a while since I looked at it, but it's stuff like then you get them to do a lot of mining, because that trains this skill, and then you get to do some other thing because that comes to train this other skill, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so forth. So not so much training skill, but it's training their attributes. So you want them to be strong and tough and agile, and you can end up with like super mega amazing ultra dwarves who can just breeze through your fortress and just do anything because they're so immensely strong and stuff like that. That is not something that I have arranged to do, it must be said. Perhaps that is a thing I should put together. It's not like I don't have space. I could like have like a whole bunch of screw pumps and just have everyone who's idling do lots of screw pumping, which sounds wrong and bad. Sounds very rude. But yeah, obviously it doesn't mean that. No, I don't know why you would think that. Wow. So you can see I've got a miner who's actually doing bone carving, or according to that message, not doing bone carving because couldn't find the thing. Again, that's I'm pretty sure that's them. In the designated the Crafts Dwarfs workshop that I designated to only do things from the slab pile, which again is something I should get to. I should put some slabs down and make notes of all the dwarves that I need to end slab. But I won't do that just now. How long does it take to? I mean, it took less time to put the staircase up, and you're just taking forever to tear it down again. I'm very upset with you. Oh, there we go. So dig H, so go down one, go up one. this area's not being down for smoothing. That's interesting. I wonder why that is. There we go. Not that it matters in the slightest. Oh, someone's using my bar block. I made a block stockpile. I can't remember where I put it. To make a little quantum stockpile of blocks, and it looks like someone's finally remembered to do it, which is kind of nice. But I need to quickly check this individual here. Right, let's follow you. This person has got a long haul to do, and will almost certainly be the one who does all the hauling. So what I'm hoping is that they will be able to do it in one big long chunk without getting stuck and because if they get tired halfway through, they're going to be in a bit of a bother. But like I said, I should be able to dig a rescue channel if that occurs and get them out of there. So it's probably not that big an issue. I just need to pay a certain amount of attention. Make sure they don't completely balls up. I probably would have been happier if they had been a slightly gnarlier. How good are you at mining? Get rid of your combat and your misc. You don't have any mining skills whatsoever. And you're a militia captain, which means you're in a squad, I thought. So you shouldn't be... oh no, you're not assigned to a squad, so there you go. No, you're assigned to a... Or are you? No, you're not. That's really weird. But according to this, you have no mining skills whatsoever, so this is going to take forever. I'm sure that's not going to go wrong. Oh wait, hang on, what has happened? I must have swapped to somebody else. Oh, there you go. Right, okay. I'm very confused. Right, so, baby. Dabbling miner. Okay. I must have suddenly started following someone else. Dabbling miner, I would have much preferred a really quite good miner to have been picked for this, of course, but never mind. Yeah, it's one of those things where you can set a workshop and say, I only want this particular person doing this particular job in this particular workshop. But you can't do that with digging tasks. You know, I would love to, I mean, without just completely... I suppose actually, you know, a sensible person would have actually done this. I could have temporarily demined all my miners except a legendary miner. I'm assuming I've got at least one legendary miner amongst my group. I've got Id here, who is a legendary +5 miner. So what I should have done, and I should wonder whether or not it's a thing I can actually still do, is just turned off mining for everybody else temporarily, and then made sure there was exactly one designation to do, which was this channel, and let them get on with it. Yet another thing I would like Dwarf Fortress to be able to do, and maybe there's a DF hack, the thing to do this, is to monitor a particular dwarf and say, alert me when this dwarf gets unwell, or alert me if this dwarf is in trouble. Such that I can rescue them if need be. Okay, well, it's all a learning curve. And, yeah, I can always get them out if I really need to. Right, it just means that I need to make sure that I do check back every so often. Make sure this dwarf is alright. We're down at 24 already. If we go quickly, no wounds or anything, so I'm just gonna... Yeah, I can always come back here if I need to. Oh yeah, that was my other very huge long tunnel, which is not suitable for this purpose because it eventually ends up down here, I think. Yeah, it ends up down here in the middle of this water. In fact, it ends up right there. I'm going to go down to Shift F1 again, which is down here. I just want to look at what I know about the lava lake at the minute. The answer is not a whole heap. Now, somewhere in here there's raw adamantites, but although I got there we go. So there's some raw adamantite. How the hell I'm going to get at it, I don't know. Yeah, draining lava lakes, you know, is an interesting thing to do. Make steel bars, that's going on. Yep, so pretty much all I can do is hope this works. And there's going to be unfortunately a bit of a drop. Well, actually, no. Let's. Can I build, construct, up down stair? Why it's not letting me use... Well, it clearly doesn't... Normally, this is sort of a distance, but it's not... It doesn't want me to use that granite, so let's go with that slate. See, if I can build... I should be able to build off the top of that, and build a stair there, and therefore there will not be a drop. When, you know, whoever tunnels that, whenever they tunnel that, there won't be a drop. The theory. I do want to get into these caverns, but there's like forgotten beasts down here. There's actually a couple of them. Oh yeah, he's in that tube. I remember that was in the alternate timeline, which is no longer there. I screwed up completely, and I tried. The idea was to try and drop rocks on that forgotten beast, and it just did not work. But interestingly, because back then the problem I had was that there was stuff I was trying to get out of here. The old pit of shame, which is no longer a pit of shame. I'm quite pleased now. I don't have to worry about that anymore. There was like 2 dead bodies and their stuff. And last time I tried it in the alternate timeline, every time they tried to grab anything, they would see the forgotten beast way down here. And they'd run away and get very scared. They'd run away and get scared. And I did an idiotic thing and tried to use the grate here. I had a lever and I put some rocks on the grate, and then I pulled the lever. Well, I didn't put any rocks in the grate. I tried to put rocks in the grate. I failed to put rocks in the grate. Putting rocks in the grate was a failure. I, in fact, dumped socks on its head. And then it didn't. I should have realised that obviously, now that I've made that open, the forgotten beast can just climb straight up the channel and eat my dwarf's face, which is what it did. It actually ate the Baroness Consort's face. But my surprisingly adept military actually did manage to mangle the guy. Okay, now go Q channel. still ongoing. It's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong. There we go. Found it. Where we're down? We're down to minus 32. Only 100 to go. Have a quick check. No, you're not. You're not. Oh, that's the baby. Not hungry or thirsty yet, so that's all good. So there we go. That's still ongoing. Right. I think I'm going to call it a day there. I'm going to save my game. I do hope you enjoyed today's episode, but I think now's the time to leave it. And I also hope that the new format works okay. You're now getting a full screen mostly. I mean, thing on the top. It also means that if I do anything involving Dwarf Therapist, then you get to see that happening instead of just hearing me talk about it at the other end. So I think that might be a more fun thing for you to do. So I do hope you enjoyed today's session. If so, there should be a nice big button telling you, please be nice to me. Please give a like or a subscribe. That'd be really, really nice. And it really helps us at Nearly Enough Dice. You could also find us at nearlyenoughdice.com, which is you'll find our role-playing game themed podcast, blog, and links to articles and other such exciting things. Do hope you'll join me again next time, and until then, please have yourselves a very dwarfy day.